Wanted to make a video giving my thoughts of the MvM update and what it really means for Team Fortress 2. And generally, they can be summed up with, it's probably going to be bad. Considering how lackluster Valve has been as a company for almost 20 years now, it is probably not realistic to expect anything great from them, ever, again, ever. They have Steam, which is an infinite money printer, and it's still objectively the best store because all the other ones want to be stupid and screw over people in some way. Valve has no incentive whatsoever to actually, genuinely make something good. They don't have to. They literally do not have to. It is an extremely frustrating thing to come to terms with because Valve used to make some of the best games ever. They used to make fantastic stories, fantastic characters, fantastic gameplay, yet they are intent on doing nothing. And if it's not doing nothing, it's currently chasing trends. The last few games that Valve has made were not good games. They were trend-chasing garbage. You had Artifact, you had Dota Underlords, well, you have Deadlock currently in the works. You have games chasing trends, and like, Deadlock is the ultimate, like, trend-chasing garbage, although the trend is heavily outdated. It is not only a MOBA, but a hero shooter too. It comes across as not knowing what they're doing. We have a company that has the money to hire the best of the best programmers, yet is intent on programming one of the worst optimized games on their new Source 2 engine. It looks like garbage, it plays like garbage, and it is overall garbage. So forgive me for not exactly being hyped for the MvM update. I don't think there is a single person in the TF2 sphere who is genuinely excited for the MvM update. I don't think there is. And any that pretend to be is probably doing so for the sake of their channel. A lot of the issue around TF2 is that the only people that have any real influence or sway with the game are big TF2 YouTubers who have no desire to genuinely improve the state of the game. They have no desire. They have no intention to. Because if they have cultivated an atmosphere of toxic positivity, and generally this atmosphere does not allow any sort of criticism, be it for a good reason or not. And they have no reason whatsoever to genuinely criticize the game and improve the game. The only reason why the bots got dealt with is because Valve knew that ultimately they couldn't just let it happen. They knew that eventually people were going to get fucking fed up. Now Valve was intent on letting it happen. Don't misunderstand, I'm not defending Valve. They were perfectly intent on letting the bots run rampant, and they let it happen for 8 years. And it only truly got solved with a contractor, not a Valve employee, a contractor, which is still working on the game, which I'll talk about more later, but it was, the bots getting dealt with was ultimately not a result of the toxic positivity movements that happened. Right, Save TF2 and Fix TF2 were mostly lip service and clout chasing. I still remain firm in that. Because anybody that was advertising that generally did not have any real intention to do anything to fix the game. Whether that be boycotting the game or doing something along those lines, they had no intention of doing it. They didn't tell people to do that, they didn't try to do it. These people, even in the moments where it counted, were not willing to actually do anything to fix the fucking game. And these are the only people that have sway around TF2. That's the sad part about it. If anything was going to get done, it was going to be done by these retards telling people to do something. And they chose not to. Even Zesty Jesus, the only one who, those big TF2 YouTubers who gives a fuck, who actually genuinely gives a fuck about the game, didn't do anything. Didn't try to do anything. He said, oh yeah, don't give them money. But didn't organize anything, didn't do anything like that. It's very frustrating, very upsetting. The issue around the MvM update, it's purely that it's judging by the current update cycle for TF2, it's going to be bad. Now, the holiday updates, the seasonal updates are an extremely mixed bag. You get one or two decent cosmetics, the rest are garbage, and maybe a handful of garbage maps. Maybe one or two are good, but generally they aren't. This last Smithmas was fine. The maps weren't totally bad. Poorly optimized and kind of ran like shit, but they were fine maps. They weren't terrible to play. But the sad reality is that's the exception. That's not the rule with these updates. That's the exception. It is an exception for them to be mediocre, because generally these updates are genuinely bad. Like the Halloween update, the Scream Fortress update, the last one was so unbelievably bad. It was so fucking bad and irredeemable in every single way. So judging by this current update cycle that this one fucking contractor is overseeing, I do not have hopes for MVM. Because you see, the issue with MVM is that a lot of the workshop content for the game mode are just maps with no missions. So that if these maps get added into the game, that means that this single fucking contractor has to go out of their way to make new missions for the game mode. And I'm sorry to say, but I do not have high hopes. I do not think this contractor knows what they're doing. I don't think they care about the game at all. I think they are of a particular group, the Troons, and this contractor has no desire to actually genuinely improve the game. If anything, I think they do what they do out of spite of the Chuds. I like, genuinely. Like, we already know this contractor does not like the Chuds. So when it comes to actually improving the game and doing what needs to be done for the game, the contractor is completely unwilling. Even if the contractor wasn't unwilling to actually fix the game, I would say that there's probably something behind Valve that's preventing them from doing so. Of course, I've said it before, but Meet Your Match has to go. If there's any hope for this game to be genuinely improved and have almost no maintenance required at all, almost all maintenance would have to be done from the community, because it'd be community servers that would be the dominant force again. If there was any hope for this game to be fixed, it would have to be Meet Your Match being taken out entirely. Every change from Meet Your Match has to fucking go. Every single one has to go. I'm pretty sure Valve would not let this contractor do it. I'm almost positive that's the case. I don't see any other way than this contractor being forced to follow some kind of guideline. And let's face it, Valve has some sort of pride that is now misplaced, because the people that earn that pride no longer work there. Whether they got laid off or they quit, they do not work there anymore. That the pride that Valve has is not earned anymore. The people that are working at Valve are, for lack of a better term, inexperienced and awful at their job. Let me repeat, they made Artifact and Dota Underlords, fully expecting these to be profitable products. Two games that are trend-chasing garbage. That there's no other way around it. And the sad reality is, a lot of the Valve sphere, not just TF2, but a lot of the Valve sphere, seemingly don't acknowledge that these games happened. They got memory hold, but they happened. These games existed. These games were nothing but trend-chasing garbage that Valve wanted to make a quick dollar off of. These were not games made with passion. And I'm sorry to say, but if these are the only products coming out from Valve, I'm not excited for the MvM update. I'm not. Just judging by everything else around Valve, the MvM update is probably going to be bad. It is a probability. The only thing I could really say that the MvM update could do that isn't objectively bad is add new Australiums. Like, there's nothing wrong with adding new Australiums. You know, personally, I want an Australium shotgun. That would be like a peak weapon for me. I would love an Australium shotgun. You know, ultimately, is new Australiums going to carry an update? We don't even know if they're going to add new Australiums. That's just an assumption, right? We don't know for sure. And it's not like it's hard work. The work's already been done for them. It's quite literally already done. Like, Australiums are not going to carry this update. This update has to have substantial changes. This cycle of garbage content slop medics cannot continue. Because it is implanting a sense of fatigue in a lot of the players. Even if these TF2 slop tubers don't want to admit it, if they want to ignore it, there is a sense of fatigue coming. If it's not already there. These slop medic updates are no longer satisfactory. They never were in the first place, but this is not a cycle that is sustainable. Because eventually, there's going to come a point where the bloat in the game is going to be so unbelievably bad that all these unoptimized cosmetics are going to make the game run so unbelievably bad, it's unplayable. That's the reality that's coming to Team Fortress 2. That's the unfortunate reality. This contractor has no desire to optimize these cosmetics before they're put into the game. They do not have any intention of optimizing the maps before they're put in the game. There's going to come a point where the game is literally going to break. We can see it already with every slop medic update that the game breaks worse and worse every year with every update. That last Scream Fortress, the game was unplayable for most players for a week. The matchmaker broke. That's not including the maps being unoptimized dog shit that turned the game into a fucking slideshow. The reality of Team Fortress 2 is it's going to get to a point where everything that's unoptimized is going to bog the game down so bad it will be unplayable for most players. That's a reality. And if these slop tubers don't want to admit that, that's on them. But that's the reality that's coming. The MvM update is going to have to address this in some way. I'm not saying removing content, but all likelihood it's going to have to be some kind of like toggle, some kind of switch to turn off cosmetics, or there's going to have to be serious, genuine work done to optimize these maps and cosmetics. There's going to have to be some actual genuine effort put in to ensure that this game doesn't collapse under its own weight. The last section of this video, I want to talk about live service and actual content updates. Now, it's a controversial thing in the TF2 sphere to ask for a genuine content update, like balance changes, new weapons. It's something that a lot of the Redditors, a lot of the slop tubers, and a lot of the slop tuber enjoyers seemingly get offended at hearing. But you have to understand that TF2 is a live service game, as in it is still actively being worked on. Even if it's what's being worked on is garbage, it is still a live service game. Valve still expects you to pay money for these cosmetics, these crates, these keys. They're still expecting you to pay money. And don't even give me the bullshit that TF2 isn't profitable. The game's already made money back 10 times, not even 10, hundreds of times over what went into it. And I think Zesty Jesus' video on how much money TF2 makes really emphasizes how much, oh, TF2 isn't that profitable, is just a flat out fucking lie. Over $25 million annually. $25 million annually, over that. That's an estimation. It's probably over that. There's no reason. And I want you to, let me get real close in the microphone. Let me really emphasize this point. There's no logical reason that Valve cannot give an actual content update for Team Fortress 2. I don't know if that's hard for you to comprehend, a hard pill to swallow. Valve is a game developer with a live service product. They are beholden to their customer. I'm sorry to say, Valve apologists, but they are beholden to us. They are obligated to continue to update this game. I'm sorry. If that's something that's hard to understand, then I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you. They are ultimately beholden to us. They still expect you to pay money. It is not unreasonable to want content updates for this game. It's not. It's literally not. The age of the game does not matter. It literally does not fucking matter. Nobody said, only with Team Fortress 2. Only with Team Fortress 2 are the fan base, or I quote unquote fans. It's a bunch of Redditors who don't even play the fucking game. Not only with Team Fortress 2 are they so fucking pussy whipped into line by the company that they genuinely have convinced themselves that we should not expect content updates. With any other fucking game, their fan base would be fucking rioting. Fucking rioting. Fucking, if Fortnite right now said they're going on hiatus, or just went radio silent like Valve does, the Fortnite fan base, as cringe and gay as they are, would be shitting themselves. Shitting and pissing themselves. We're talking a meltdown. An absolute meltdown. Fortnite would drop in sales. Like, their revenue would drop drastically. The Fortnite player base would have an absolute fucking bitch fit about it. And the internet as a whole would probably support them in it. But with Team Fortress 2, with Team Fortress fucking 2, you suggest that, hey, maybe if you expect us to pay money for this game, you should, like, actually update it.
No, you can't do that. No, the game's 20 years old. No, you don't understand. They don't have to update the game. You don't understand. You don't deserve an update. It's old. It's an old game. No. Valve's a big company. They don't have to do anything.
That's what you sound like. That's literally what you fucking sound like. When you genuinely suggest that Valve is not obligated to make genuine content updates for this game. There is no logical argument against saying that TF2 deserves content updates. There's none. There's literally none. There should be content updates on a near yearly basis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, but there should be. If that's frustrating for you to hear, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sick of pretending that I don't want a content update. I do. I would love a new content update, a new themed update with new weapons, new balance changes, just new shit. There's literally no fucking reason they can't do that. There's none. They have 300 employees. They are a multi-billion-dollar company. They can get it done. I'm sick of pretending that it's unrealistic for a content update for TF2. I'm sorry to say, it's not unrealistic. This is a hard pill to swallow for most fucking supposed fans of this fucking game. They are beholden to their fucking customer. They expect us to pay money, and by fucking God, they should update the game. But regardless, the most important thing I'd want, aside from a content update, the most important thing is meet your match has to go. That's the underlying basis of everything. Even if there's never another content update for this game again, they could stop the seasonal slot medic. They could never fucking do a balance change again. If meet your match went, the game is unironically saved. Every single aspect that made this game unplayable garbage would single-handedly be fixed if meet your match was reverted. All garbage weapon balancing, gone. All matchmaker breaking, gone. All of the problems with the bots, gone. Overnight. All they have to do is revert meet your match. That's all they have to do. That's the reality of this MvM update. It's probably gonna be a bunch of garbage cosmetics, maybe some Australians, and some lackluster fucking MvM maps. That's probably what it's gonna be. And I think it's very important that if this MvM update is an abject failure, that whatever remains of the TF2 chuds come together to actually push for this game to be fixed. I think that is imperative. If there's any hope for this game to actually genuinely be fixed, where Valve can essentially be hands-off for the rest of the game's life cycle, we have to push for the meet your match to be reverted. I think that's the reality of the MvM update. I think it's gonna be bad. I have no hope for it, really.